Okay, hi guys. Hello. How are you? No, so, hindi tayo nakapag-meet ng isang linggo. And because of that, I decided na gumawa ng isang video topic. Okay? Para naman hindi tayo masyado mapag-iwanan. Okay? And before that, share muna natin yung aking screen, ha? Okay. So, I guess, okay na tayo. And then, eto tayo. Okay, guys, this topic will be the lesson 3 or supposed to be lesson 3 natin to, no? Ito yung why Spain and other Europeans took sea routes to Asia. Then, in discussing this topic, meron tayong mga certain objectives na kailangan nating malaman. Or ito yung target natin na parang again, at the end of this discussion, you guys will identify the major reasons behind European explorations. No? And then second, explain how the fall of Constantinople influenced Spain and other Europeans to take sea routes to Asia. So familiar ba kayo doon sa Constantinople? Kung hindi, sa later on, malalaman nyo ano yung Constantinople na yan. Okay, and then the third one, third objective natin, is to analyze the positive and negative effects of European explorations. And then number four, demonstrate appreciation of the historical importance of sea explorations through active class participations. Okay, so before we proceed no talaga doon sa ating topic, so meron ako naka-ready rito guys na ilang sabihin natin guess the word, no? Simple game. So sasabihin ko lang kung ano yung parang description and then it's up to you to decide or you need to to make a guess kung ano ba yung tinutukoy ko dito. Example, yun na, one. This is the action of buying and selling of goods and services. So, meron kayong idea kung ano to? Okay, so this is trade. Okay, then next one, the passage of ships. So, eto, ang ibig sabihin niyan ay navigation. Okay, and then third one, the action of traveling in or through an unfamiliar area in order to learn about it. And that is called exploration. Okay, now, a person who set out to discover something by going somewhere unfamiliar, ang tawag sa kanila, explorer. Okay, so again, we are talking or we are going to discuss Europeans. Although hindi kasi naman ito directly no kasama sa topic natin, but I want you to know ano ba yung naging reason why these people, the Europeans, no, travel across the sea. Ano ba yung naging dahilan? But anyway, uh, alam kong mahilig kayong kumain. Okay? And sa pagkain natin, syempre masarap yung may lasa. And para magkaroon ng lasa yung ating pagkain, no, kailangan natin ng spices. Okay, so ano ba yung spices? So spices, they are aromatic vegetable substance used to flavor food. So spices, ginagamit natin yan no, for flavoring para yung pagkain natin maging malasa, maging masarap. Okay. So example ng mga spices na ginagamit natin sa pagluluto. We have cinnamon. Okay. Actually, ano yan? Yan ay gawa from bark or yung parang balat ng puno ng kahoy. So, Yan talaga yung kinukuha nila, no? Pinupulbos nila yan. Cinnamon. Sa tinapay, ginagamit yan. No? And sa mga dishes. Next is laurel leaves. I think familiar ka dyan kung ano yung laurel leaves na yan. No? And then, black pepper or paminta. And then, meron tayong cloves. And then, annatto seeds or atsuete sa local versions natin. And then, we have this called turmeric, luyan dilaw. And then, bell pepper or siling prasco. Okay? And syempre, yung pangontra sa aswang, ginagamit sa sinangag, garlic. Okay, so yan yung ilan sa mga example ng spices na ginagamit natin sa pagluluto. And actually, yung mga spices na yan, yan din yung gustong-gusto ng mga European people. And isa yan sa dahilan kung bakit sila nag-travel across the sea from Spain or from Europe papuntang Asia. And aside from spices, okay, there is no this product that is so popular and expensive that only the wealthy and the royal family, can afford this product. Actually, it is a natural protein fiber, some forms of which can be woven into textiles. So, ito ay nanggagaling sa creature na to. Okay? And that creature, yung nakikita nyo creature na yan, is actually the silkworm. So, familiar kayo sa silkworm. So, the silkworm can produce silk fiber. Okay? And then, the silk fiber will go to some process and then makakapag-create tayo ng silk fabric. And silk is actually one of the most expensive and sabihin natin rare item talaga yan. Okay? So napaka-mahal ng item na yan. And those products, I mean the spices and the silk are the products, no, of Oriental or Asia. So when we say Oriental or Asia, sa pagkuha ng mga spices and ng mga products na yun, actually we are referring to the East and Southeast Asia. So iyan yung nasa loob ng red line. That is the China and then the Southeast Asian nations. Okay. Now, the product of Asia na dinadala yan sa Europe. Okay. So, yung mga product na nasa Asia, dinadala siya papuntang Europe. Then, baka tanongin niyo ako, Sir, paano nakakarating yung mga product na yan from Europe, I mean, from Asia to Europe and vice versa? So, simple lang. Meron kasi silang parang, parang business trade. Okay? And yung mga merchant nila ay dumadaan sa tinatawag na Silk Road. So yung Silk Road na yan is an ancient network of land trade routes that connected the East, okay, and the West. So when we say East, that is the Asia or the China and Asia. And then Europe, I mean West, that is the Europe and the Middle East. So yung Silk Road na yan ay ginagamit na siya from 2nd century BCE or before Christ era until mid-15th century. So therefore, guys, the goods, no, from Asia were actually can be found sa market ng Europe long before the birth of Jesus Christ. And paano nga ba natatravel yung item from, let's say, point A, from Asia, papuntang Europe? So, ang tawag nila doon sa ganung proseso is caravan. So yan yung may mga group of merchants na nag-travel na from point A to point B just to bring and sell their goods. Okay po. Now, si Europe, no, nagkaroon sila ng desire to reach Asia. Well, simply because of this famous writer and traveler. Siya kasi yung nagkwento sa kung ano ba yung meron sa Asia. How rich and big Asia is. No? Sabi niya, Asia is actually a fabulous part of the world, no? According to him. Ano yan? He traveled Asia during medieval times. And that person is actually Marco Polo. So Marco Polo is an Italian merchant, explorer, and writer born in the Republic of Venice, who lived in China for 13 years. So, kasi sa China, maraming dynasty. Okay, if you are familiar doon. So, Marco Polo visited the Yuan dynasty, China. So, yun yung imperial dynasty sa China when Marco Polo arrived and stayed. Again, that is Yuan dynasty. This is the dynasty established by Kublai Khan, the grandson of the great conqueror Genghis Khan. Now, yung travel ni Marco Polo was recorded into a book. Okay? And this book is entitled Libres des Merveilles du Monde. Okay, it is a Latin actually, no? It is a Latin title. Again, it is Libres des Merveilles du Monde. Medyo mahirap tandaan. So, i-convert natin siya into English. So, sa English, it's entitled The Book of the Marvels of the World, or simply The Travels of Marco Polo. Okay, the book was believed to be written in the year 1330s. It is actually travelogue. Okay, so when you say travelogue, yan yung daily log ng isang traveler. So lumalabas guys, Marco Polo is actually a vlogger. Kasi di ba ganun ang trabaho ng vlogger? Pupunta ka sa isang area and then ano gagawin mo? So kapag ano ka sa isang area, isulat mo, i-record mo what are the things you saw or experience. So ganun yung ginawa ni Marco Polo. That's the reason why Marco Polo can be considered as one of the oldest or maybe first travel blogger. Okay. Now, the book described to Europeans, no, the wealth and great size of China, its capital Peking, and other Asian cities and countries. Okay. And balik tayo dito, guys. Yan, again, that is spices. Okay. Now, guys, I want you to look those mga pictures na yan, and do you think na those spices, yung mga nakikita niyo sa pictures na yan, those the spices na yan, no? Do you think na they are always easy to buy in Europe in the 1400s? Baka sabihin nyo, oo, hindi, no? So, hindi siya mabilis mahanap or mabili. So, bakit? Bakit hindi siya madaling hanapin or hindi siya madaling mabili? Well, simply because spices is actually a rare item. And it is actually expensive. Okay? Why? Because spices like pepper, cinnamon, and silk from Asia were actually very valuable in Europe. Kaya siya mahal. And isang reason pa na bakit naging masyadong expensive, no, or valuable yung mga items na yan, well, simply because of the event, no, in 1453. Because of that event, no, the rare item became mas mahirap siyang hanapin. A rare item that became so rare. Okay, parang ganun yung nangyari. Okay? Since mas mahirap na siyang makita, mas tumaas yung kanyang presyo. Mas naging expensive siya. Mas tumaas yung kanyang value. And now, tanungin ko kayo guys, what do you think happened in 1453 that makes the the Asian product became so rare and became so much expensive sa Europe? Palagay nyo, ano yung event na yon? So this is the fall of Constantinople noong 1453. Well, if you are not familiar, guys, Constantinople is the Eastern Roman Empire. If you are familiar do sa Roman Empire, no, actually meron kasi dalawang Roman Empire. The Western Roman Empire, that is the original empire na nakikita natin or yung naandoon sa Europe, sa Italia, sa Italy, sa Venice, sa Rome, yan. And then the other Roman Empire is yung Eastern Roman Empire na nasa city of Constantinople or mas kilala siya sa tawag na Byzantine Empire. Okay. Now, the Byzantine Empire officially fell on May 29, 1453 when the Ottoman Empire conquered its capital, well, the Constantinople, no, after a 55-day siege. So nagkaroon ng labanan sa Constantinople. 55 araw na labanan yon hanggang sa nanalo yung Ottoman Empire. Okay, so the Ottoman Empire was under the leadership of Sultan Mehmed II. Again, that is Mehmed, Mehmed II. Okay, they breached the city's wall. No? Nag-collapse yung wall ng Constantinople, so napasok nila yung city. And because of that, yung last emperor ng Byzantine, si Constantine 11, yun yung reason kung bakit siya namatay. No, kasi napatay siya ng mga Roman Empire, ng Ottoman Empire. And because of that, no, the death of Constantine 11 signaled the end of the empire's centuries long existence as the continuation of the Roman Empire. So sabi nga nila, no, every empire, they meet their ends. So, parang, di ba sabi nga nila, wala namang kasing everlasting or forever. So just like the empire, they rise and fall. And even the Ottoman Empire na naging powerful sila, but eventually, pagdating ng 20th century, they crumbled and folded. Okay, now, guys, my question is this. Is the fall of Constantinople one of the reasons why Europeans started sea exploration to Asia? Palagay nyo, ano kayong reason? Or ito kaya isa sa mga dahilan? Okay, so actually, answer dito no is yes. The fall of Constantinople in 1453 was indeed one of the key reasons why Europeans turned to sea exploration to reach Asia. So, bakit? So, tanong natin, why Europe turned to sea exploration to reach Asia? Okay, kasi di ba sabi natin, meron naman dating rutang, excuse me, may rutang ginagamit ang mga Europeans. Yun yung, again, anong kalsada yon? That is the Silk Road. Okay, so upon the fall of Constantinople, so they started not to use the ocean. They started to explore the sea and they want to reach Asia. So why? First, loss of the traditional route. Well, Constantinople was actually the gateway between Europe and Asia. So bakit siya gateway? Kasi guys, if you are from Asia and then you wanted to visit or went to go to Europe, kailangan yung dumaan ng Constantinople. Okay. Nowadays, yung Constantinople, ano yan? Bahagi siya ng Turkiya or ng Turkey. Okay. And when the Ottoman Turks captured the city, the Constantinople, they gained control over major land routes. So the Silk Road and other caravan routes na nagdudugtong sa Asia to Europe. Kaya nahirapan yung mga items natin, kasi yung mga product from Asia na makarating ng Europe, nahirapan na sila. Kasi nga, ang nagko-control nung daan ay ang Ottoman Empire. And actually, nga pala, Ottoman Empire is actually a Muslim empire. And then the Constantinople, or the Roman Empire, is actually a Christian empire. And alam niyo naman, di ba? Parang from ever since the world began yata, hindi naman totally when the world began, but in our history, laging naglalaban talaga ang Christians and Muslims. So, yan yung isang patunay dyan, the fall of Constantinople. Okay, now, second reason, higher cost and limited access. Since the Ottoman controlled the Silk Road, no, they imposed heavy taxes and restrictions on goods like silk, spices, and precious metals passing through their territory. Nagpataw sila ng mataas na buwis, tapos hindi lahat ng items pwedeng dumaan sa kanila. Kaya nga restrictions. So dahil doon, no, the Asian product became a luxury goods and expensive sa Europe. Okay ba? Third reason, motivation to find an alternative routes. Well, because of the destruction, the fall of Constantinople, European powers, especially Portugal and Spain, so they began to search for new routes. So, sa dagat nga, yung dagat yung napili nila, no? They search for new sea routes to Asia so that they can trade directly with India, China, and the Spice Islands bypassing, I mean, hindi dadaan sa mga controlled areas ng Ottoman. And number four reason, it is the result of age of exploration. So, kasi nga, 1450s, papasok na yun sa Renaissance period. And sa Renaissance, kasama din dyan yung exploration. And the explorations led to voyages by explorers like Bartolomeo Diaz, Vasco da Gama, and later Christopher Columbus. Okay, so that is the time, or parang it signaled the spark of the age of explorations. Okay po. Now, there are other reasons for Europeans to see exploration. So, one is spice and trade. So, Europeans wanted direct access to the valuable Asian goods. Again, like spices, silk, gold, without paying high prices to the middleman. So, sino yung middlemen? They are sino? Sila yung Ottoman Empire. Okay. Next reason nila is wealth and power. The monarchs, they sponsored exploration to gain riches, expand empires, and compete with their rival nations. For example, the Portugal and the Spain. Okay, so they actually fought neck to neck, no, para sa pagtuklas ng mga bagong lupain na kanilang magiging territory, extension of their empire. The third one, Christianity. Okay, the these people from the Europeans, they want to spread Christianity all over the world, or doon sa mga new lands na kanilang madi-discover. Kasi for them, for the Europeans, for the Christian, or let's say from the Catholic, converting from from the native religions to Christianity is the only way of salvation. Okay, that's the reason why lagi silang may kasamang mga pare or misyonero sa kanilang paglalakbay. Kasi nga, they want not to convert every natives na kanilang ma-encounter into Christians. And then, number 4, curiosity and Renaissance spirit. The Renaissance encourage learning, discovery, and desire to explore the unknown world. Renaissance is actually means rebirth, muling pagsilang, no? Kasi there was actually a time in Europe na naging stagnant sila, no discoveries, kumbaga walang bagong kaalaman. And then pagdating ng Renaissance period, yun, they started to explore and to ask new, they try to look new knowledge, basta something ganun, basta they want to discover something. Kaya doon nagsimula yung Renaissance period natin. And then number 5, the navigation and technology. Well, simply because nagkaroon tayo ng mga bagong tools like compass, astrolabe, and improved ships. So, the long voyage make possible. Okay. And 6, okay, strategic advantages. So, controlling new trade routes gave political and military power. In short, Europeans explored for religion, wealth, and fame and power. So, usually, sinasum up siya or sinasummarize siya into 3G. So, yan yung tinatawag na Europe's 3G o 3Gs. So, ano ba yung 3G na yan? Hindi yan signal ng cellphone ha. So, 3G means one, God. During this time, Europeans, especially Spain and Portugal, wanted to spread Christianity. So, bakit nga ba gusto nilang i-spread yung Christianity during this time? Well, simply because they wanted to convert. No? Gaya sabi ko kanina, they wanted to convert other people because, and aside from that, church is actually so powerful that even the kings and queens, no, nagbabaw sila, sumusunod sila sa kung ano man yung sinasabi ng mga kaparian. Again, sabi ko nga, no, that's the reason why missionaries traveled with explorer to spread Christian faith in the new lands they will discover. That's the first G. Second G is gold. Now, when you say gold, it doesn't mean the metal or it means the gold itself. No. Gold simply because wealth. Okay. Gold represent wealth. So bakit wealth? Di ba? Ikaw yung makakuha ng access sa Spice Island, sa spices, sa silk, sa precious metals. So ibig sabihin, you will earn money. You will get wealth. Okay? And bakit nga ba gusto ng mga Europeans ang direct access doon sa mga product na yan, the spices, the silk, and precious metals? Or simply because they want to get rich. They don't need middleman simply because kapag may middleman, mataas yung presyo ng mga item and they want to trade directly with Asia. Why? Well, simply because they wanted to avoid paying high taxes to the Ottomans. Kasi syempre, kung nagbabayad ka ng taxes sa Ottomans, ibig sabihin, yayaman yung kaaway mo. So, yun yung ayaw nilang mangyari. Okay? And then, the third G is glory. So, what do you mean by glory? Okay? Glory means fame, or it could be power for the country. Okay? So, explorers wanted fame and honor for themselves. So, syempre, kung ikaw yung mag-travel across the sea, makaka-discover ka ng new land, so andoon yung ano, yung katanyagan. Kasi nga, kikilalanin ka bilang isang explorer, the one who discovers something. And for the king and queens. They wanted more land, power, and prestige for their kingdom. And anong bansa yung nakikita nyo dyan? Anong flag yan? Yan nasa picture natin. Actually, that is the Spain. Okay? So Spain became the most powerful country during that time. Sabihin natin sila yung parang Amerika ngayon. Sila yung superpower. Okay. Now, ano nga ba yung mga new technology na sinasabi natin? Well, exploration was actually ano yan, napakadelikado kasi ng exploration. Kasi magta-travel ka across the sea na hindi mo naman alam kung ano yung meron doon sa dagat. Hindi mo alam kung makakabalik ka na or kung makakabalik ka pa or what eh. Okay? But, no, because of new technologies, so exploration became more possible. Okay? So ano ba yung mga example ng mga technology na meron or I mean technology na na-discover during that time. So ito siya. One eye compass. So you say compass, I think alam mo kung ano yung compass, no? It is a device that shows the cardinal directions used for navigations and geographic orientations. Yan yung may umiikot na laging yung pointer niya is nakaturo sa north. Okay? And then, meron din tayong astrolabe. So it is an astronomical instrument, no, dating to ancient times. It serves as star chart and physical model of the visible half dome of the sky. Kasi nga, ano ba yung po pwede nyo, I mean, pag nag-travel tayo or we are going to visit some places, ano nga ba yung hinahanap natin? Diba? We are looking for a landmark para masabi natin kung malayo pa, malapit na, or lumagpas tayo sa pupuntahan natin. Now guys, yung mga explorer na yan, yung mga navigators na yan, wala naman silang po pwedeng magamit na parang trade, no? I mean, landmark. Kasi nasa gitna ka ng laot. So ano yung po pwede mong tignan na gawing palatandaan? That is the heavenly bodies, the moon, the stars, the sun. So, diyan pumapasok yung astrolabe. Yan yung gamit niyan. Okay. And then we have caravels. So, caravels is a small, fast Spanish or Portuguese sailing ship from 15th to 17th century. Okay pa. So, those are the navigation tools, okay, na ginamit ng mga European to travel from Europe to Asia. And speaking of travelers, no, sino-sino nga ba yung mga notable European explorer? Okay, so sila yung mga nagpasimula kasi ng sea exploration. Actually, ang nauna talaga dyan, Portugal. Okay, the Portuguese country, they are the first one who started exploration sa dagat to discover new lands and discover riches. So, nangunguna sa kanila ay si Prince Henry the Navigator. He's a Portuguese sea captain. Okay, discovered new lands like Madeira, Azores, and Cape Verde Island. Okay, next ay si Antonio Goncalves. So, Antonio Goncalves is a 15th century Portuguese explorer and slave trader who rounded Cape Blanco sa Oregon in USA. Okay, and in year 1441, Goncalves was sent by Henry the Navigator to explore the West African coast, no, in an expedition. And also, Goncalves is the first European to buy Africans as slave from black slave trade market sa Africa. So lumalabas si Antonio Goncalves, ang unang nagdala ng African slaves sa Europe. Okay. Next is Diego Gomez, a Portuguese navigator, explorer, and writer. So he was a servant and explorer of Portuguese Prince Henry the Navigator. And he discovered the Cape Verde sa Africa. So he's the one who discovered Cape Verde. And then next is Diego Cao. So in 1482, Diego Cao, a Portuguese explorer and one of the most notable navigators of the age of discovery, he made two voyages sailing along the west coast of Africa in the 1480s. Uh, he discovered the Congo River. Okay, siya yung unang Europeans na nakapunta ng Congo River sa present-day Angola and Namibia. Okay, next is si Bartolomeo Diaz. He was the first to discover the Cape of Good Hope sa South Africa. And he became the first European navigator to round the southern tip of Africa. Yun nga lang, no, he died at the sea by the Cape of Good Hope in 1500. Sa dagat siya namatay. Next is Vasco da Gama. He's a Portuguese explorer and a nobleman who was the first European to reach India by sea. Actually, ang mga Portuguese, meron naman silang contact sa India. Kaya lang, si Vasco da Gama ang unang Europeans na nakapunta ng India using sea routes. Okay. So, yung mga binanggit ko ay mga Portuguese explorer yan. But, syempre, sabi ko, di ba, Spain became the most powerful country or kingdom during that time. Kasi, sa panahon ng explorations, hindi naman sila nagpahuli. So, Spain, not to be outdone by Portugal, no? Also won maritime laurels. So, sino nga ba yung mga notable um, explorer ng Spain? First is Christopher Columbus. So, familiar ba kayo sa kanya? Well, guys, Christopher Columbus is the one who discovered America on October 12, 1492. Again, October 12, 1492, he discovered America. And because of his voyage, it lifted Spain to a new pinnacle of glory. So kaya lang guys, although Christopher Columbus discovered America, but the name America was actually derived from Amerigo Vespucci. Okay? So si Amerigo Vespucci ay isa rin siyang uh, Spanish explorer. Okay? Between 1499 and 1503. Guys, saglit lang, saglit lang. Okay guys, so I'm back. Now, again, si Amerigo Vespucci is an Italian explorer, financier, navigator, and cartographer. He discovered the New World, the land mass that actually first discovered by Columbus, the American name after him. Yun. So, sad to say, Christopher Columbus discovered America, but the American name after him, Amerigo Vespucci. Pero syempre naman, para hindi naman parang kinalimutan si Christopher Columbus, isa sa state ng America was named after him. That is the Washington, D.C. or the District of Columbia. And there's a Columbian College, no? And then mayroon ding country sa Latin America named Colombia. Okay, next is Hernan Cortez, a Spanish conquistador who led an expedition in Mexico in 1519, which caused the fall of the Aztec Empire. So, alam niyo yung Aztec Empire. Nowadays, yan yung halos bumubuo sa bansang Mexico. So, paano nga ba natalo ni Hernan Cortez yung mga Aztec? Uh, sabi nila, no, si Hernan Cortez kasi is nagdala ng diseases or virus sa mga Aztecs. Hindi naman totally sinadya. Ano kaya lang, halimbawa, meron silang lagnat, sipon, nang dumating sila sa Aztec Empire, and then yung mga viruses na yon, yun yung pumatay doon sa mga Aztec people. Kasi wala naman silang immune defense para sa mga ganong klase ng sakit, simply because hindi naman sila nagkakaroon ng contact sa ibang tao. And because of the arrival of the Spaniards, no, so nagkasakit yung mga Aztec people, and then yun, na-wipe out sila. And meron akong nabasa before, sabi, na kaya daw hindi din lumaban yung mga Aztec people na dumating si Hernan Cortez simply because na dumating si Hernan Cortez, he is wearing parang yung parang mga knights na meron silang mga armored parang bakal something, no? Sabi nga, para silang mga knight in shining armor. And then, bumababa sila ng barko. Ano sila, mga mataas sa tao. Siyempre, yung mga native ng Aztec, hindi naman ganun kalakihan. So, based doon sa nabasa ko, sabi, na pagkamalan daw ng mga Aztec people na si Hernan Cortez together with his crew ay ang kanilang mga Diyos na bumaba sa lupa. Kaya yun, hindi sila lumaban. Nagpasabdyo sila. And then later on, they died simply because of the diseases. Okay. Next is Vasco Nunez de Balboa. Okay, so he's a Spanish explorer, governor, and conquistador. So he discovered the Pacific Ocean and he called it the South Sea. Ito nga pala, no, trivia. Alam niyo ba kung ano ibig sabihin ng Pacific? Sa English kasi, Pacific means pacifying or parang kalmado. To calm, pakalmahin. Akala kasi nila yung Pacific Ocean ay isang kalmadong dagat. But hindi nila alam na Pacific Ocean is actually one of the most dangerous ocean in the world. Kasi nga masyado siyang vast, no, at open sea. So doon nagkakaroon ng malalaking mga waves. Okay pa. Now, so sa explorations natin, no, ano nga ba yung naging outcome ng exploration? So explorations brought trade, knowledge, and cultural exchange. Okay, but, okay, there is a but, but it also brought conquest and colonizations. Yan yung isang bahagi ng explorations. No? I mean, there is a good side and there is a bad side ng exploration. Okay, now, do you think, guys, that exploration was more positive or more negative? Why? Okay? So, maybe sabihin nyo na this is a positive because it's connect the world, or it could be negative because it led to colonization. And maybe baka some of you will answer it both bring positive and negative. Okay. Now guys, ito yan. Always remember that history has two sides. It's important, no, to us, no, to see both the gains and the cost of the explorations. Okay? May maganda, may hindi magandang dulot ang explorations. Let's say in the Philippines, before the Spaniards arrived in the Philippines, wala namang kasing konsepto ng bansang Pilipinas. Okay? Ah, bawat lugar, bawat ah, parang kapuluan ay independent sila sa bawat isa. Actually, we have barangay kingdoms na kung saan po pwedeng kaaway or kakampi mo yung mga karatig barangay mo. Okay? But then again, wala tayong konsepto ng one country. Then, na dumating yung Spaniards, sila yung nag-introduce ng sabihin nating centralized government na kung saan pinag-isa nila yung mga kapuluan natin. Okay? Kaya doon nagsimula yung konsepto ng bansang Pilipinas. Okay pa. Now, yung actually, I have a quiz. Na, but mag-quiz tayo kapag nagkita-kita na lang tayo next week. Okay? Para naman siguradong mas magiging maganda yung ating quizzes. Okay? But before we before umaga matapos itong ating discussion, no, I have these conclusions to you. Now guys, yung conclusion kasi, ito yung sabihin natin, ano ba yung naging uh, epekto no, no explorations na yan? Naging maganda ba siya or hindi? Okay, so in the end guys, no, Spain and other Europeans, no, they explored the sea not only because of the fall of Constantinople, although isa yan sa reason, no, but also because of their desire for God, gold, and glory. That is the three G's. The explorations opened new connections between continents, I mean from Europe to Asia to North and South America. Okay, they bring trades and cultural exchange, but also uh, conquest and colonizations. Now, let's say in the Philippines, we've been colonized by the Spain for 333 long years. No? Now, as students who study history, you may learn not to appreciate, or we must learn to appreciate the progress of explorations and also be mindful of its consequences. Why? The the explorations, no, the European explorations remind us that for the search for the power and wealth, we should always be balanced with respect for humanity and culture. No? Nung kasing panahon ng explorations, yan yung nawala. Yung, yung respect for humanity and the culture. Why? Kasi for the European people, dapat yung kanilang culture, yung kanilang belief, yun yung kailangang mapakalat. And they disregard kung ano man yung dinatnan nila doon sa lugar na kanilang pinapuntahan. Okay? Kaya nga maraming uh, ethnic group o mga native yung na-wipe out or namatay because of the explorations. Okay. So now, next topic natin will be the Magellan's Voyage. And this will be discussed on our next meeting. Ay pa. So, hanggang dito na lang muna tayo guys, and I hope you learned something new, no, dito sa ating sa discussion na to. Okay? And do not forget that next meeting, meron tayong quizzes, and also nga pala, mag-check din tayo ng ating prelim exam. So, kumusta ba yung inyong naging prelim exam? Okay, so next meeting magkakaalaman tayo, no? Tama ba yung inyong mga pinagagawa doon sa ating exam? Okay. So paano? Hanggang dito na lang, no? And see you next time, guys. Okay. Bye-bye.